So I have told you that to find out the slope, you need to use the formula as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now, here which one will be your y2? If I am talking about these 2 points. These 2 points. So this one is the initial and this one is the final. Okay. So this one is the first one. This one is the second one. Okay. This one is 0.1. This one will be 0.2. So what is the coordinate for 0.1? You can see that this one is 0, 60, and for 0.2 the coordinate is 2 and 40. X coordinate is 2, y coordinate is 40. 240. So if I am finding the slope, okay, the slope, if I am finding the slope, that is y2 minus y1. y2 is my 40, y1 is 60, divided by x2 minus x1. x2 is my 2 minus x1 is 0. So what will it be? 40 minus 60, that is minus 20, divided by 2, that is minus 10. And what will be the unit? 40 minus 60, that is this one is in velocity. Velocity's unit is in kilometer per hour and divided by hour is already there. So hour square. So this one is minus 10 kilometer per hour square. Can you remember something? Here the negative sign. So the first question is the slope of the dt graph, the slope of the speed time or velocity time graph. What is the quantity? What is this quantity? The slope is giving us which quantity? The slope is giving us the acceleration. And here we have seen a negative sign. Negative sign in acceleration means it is nothing but retardation. That is, the velocity is decreasing. And you can see also that the slope is decreasing. Okay, this is called a decreasing slope. Okay, and it is indicating that the acceleration is negative or it is retardation. Okay, now slope for this point we have got it as minus 10 km per hour square. Let us check it for this one. Okay, for these two cases. This point and this point. So again slope for the last part, that is here its coordinate is 6, 0 and it is of 4, 20. Okay, so y2 minus y1, that is 0 minus 20 divided by x2 minus x1, that is 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4. Again I am getting minus 20 divided by 2, which is minus 10 kilometer per hour square. So both are same. Both are same. That is, the acceleration is constant. Acceleration is constant. Both are in negative sign. Okay. So what does it mean? The rate of change of velocity is constant. It is in decreasing rate, but the rate is constant. Okay. So acceleration, value of the acceleration is constant, but it is continuously decreasing with time. That is, acceleration is constant. Which is decreasing? Which one is decreasing? Speed is decreasing with time. Okay. Now, from this graph, we will learn something else. Okay. Let us find it out. Can you remember one thing? I have told you that from the graph, I can find out the instantaneous speed for any time. So I want to know, now this time sheet is not giving me what is the speed at 5 hour. Okay, when the time has passed as 5 hours, at that time what is the speed? So what to do for that one? I have got the time as 5. So let us draw one perpendicular on it. And where is it touching? From that, I need to draw one perpendicular on it. So what will be the coordinate for this one? Where the x coordinate is 5, what will be its corresponding y coordinate? That will give us the velocity. That is, x coordinate is representing time. Okay, so from there, what will be the y coordinate? The line, on that line, which point's coordinate, x coordinate or time coordinate is 5. For that one, the value of the y coordinate is giving us the velocity. Okay, so from this graph, if I have got this one and I have drawn one perpendicular on it, and I can see that this one is 10. So 5, 10 is the coordinate. So from here I can tell you that when time was 5 hours, at that time its velocity was 10 kilometer per hour. Okay, 10 kilometer per hour. This is one very interesting thing, that from a graph I can find out the instantaneous speed. That is, from the speed time graph I can find out the instantaneous speed or the instantaneous velocity for the body in between the given data. Okay. Similarly, it will be your task to find out the velocity at 3 hours and at 1 hour. Okay, do it. I will check the copy. Okay. Okay, so now another thing I am going to find out, that in between these 6 hours, 0 to 6, in between these 6 hours, how much distance is covered by the body? How much distance is covered? So you have learned that to find out the distance covered, I need to find out the area under the curve. Okay, as simple as that. So area under the curve is, area is the entire area. Okay, and if I am giving the name as, okay, already I have given the name it as P1. Let us give the name as P3. Okay, so what will be the area under O, P1, P3? Area of O, P1, P3. The entire area will give us the distance covered by the body within this time period, 0 to 6 hours. Okay. So this is nothing but a right angle triangle. This is nothing but a right angle triangle, and its base is, so I am putting here right angle triangle symbol, and its base is OP3 and its height is OP1. So area's formula is half into perpendicular into base. So this much. Okay. Now let us put the value. Half into OP3 is 6. Now see here, this portion to this portion. This is how much? 6 hours. 6 hours. And OP1. This is how much? 60 kilometer per hour. 60 kilometer per hour. Now our reduces. 2, 6 reduces 3. And I have got 180 kilometer. So total distance covered by the body starting from 0 to 6 hours, okay, is 180 kilometer. Okay. So what are the things you have learned from these kinds of graph? What are the things? First of all, this kind of graph is telling me that the velocity is decreasing. The velocity is decreasing. That is, it is in retardation, or the acceleration is negative. Okay, I can find out any times instantaneous speed or instantaneous velocity from this graph. Okay, and what else I can find out? The area under the curve tells us the distance covered by the body within this time period. Okay, so all of these data I can find out from this graph. Okay, keep practicing. These are very interesting. If once you can find out the tricks, you can do it very easily. Okay, keep practicing at home. Thank you.